So how long have you been out like as gay at the moment?
Since I was 14. I came out to everyone at school the year before, and I came out to my mum, I want to say, in the January of 2012, so I came out to everyone in 2011.
What does it feel like to be out and proud now and not have to hide who you are?
I don't know, because it was kind of obvious. When I came out to my mum, she was like, I've been waiting for you to tell me, those things. And like, she also caught me looking at porn when I was younger, so, and then she used to ask me, so I don't know.
When did you first start using gay dating apps?
When I turned 15, 16.
What was the first gay dating app that you used?
Well, I think probably everyone's used this one, Grindr.
How did you find your experience on there of using Grindr?
I don't know, like my first experiences, or my experience now.
Experience overall?
It's kind of jarring, to be fair. It's kind of like a dead end.
What do you mean by jarring?
It's just the same shit like you get in every city. So leaving from my hometown to Manchester now, it's just the same bullshit, just another city.
What's your opinion on people who put in their bios, no blacks, no Asians, no femmes?
Good for them, you're missing out, to be fair.
Have you ever had anything racial happen to you from the LGBT community or on gay dating apps?
Yeah, loads of times. It's to be expected because I'm not the norm of what you would say. Not trying to be racist, but like people's Eurocentric ideals of like a white twink and all that. So.
Do you think it's right for people to be behaving like that and having those kinds of opinions?
Well, it's your morals that you got to deal with, not mine. I don't let it bother me too much anymore, so.
How did you first feel when you first started receiving these kinds of racial attacks?
I was kind of vexed with it, to be fair, but I'm at peace with it because I've experienced like racism before at school, so. You become kind of like desensitized to it, but I'm not asked, like, if that's your opinion, like, not that I believe in God or anything, but if there is a God, then you've got to get right with him, because...
What kind of things were people doing or saying to you to have these racial attacks on you?
To be fair, it used to be just like stuff about my skin colour and like my facial features and stuff, but the kind of racism I get now, people wouldn't say it's like race, like people would have different opinions on it, but people's just like, the main majority of messages I get on Grindr is stuff about to be like with penis sizes and stuff, or like if I get a match on an app, people will message me saying, is it true that black men have bigger penises, shit like that, to be fair.
How does that make you feel? That you're expected to have that kind of body image?
Well, it makes me feel kind of shit, but then I do have those kind of workings downstairs, but then I don't want to be seen as just like what's downstairs. I want to be seen as a person, because I'm a human being with actual feelings, don't match with me on an app just based of what's between my legs, you know what I mean? Because it's basically fetishizing. You're not actually looking for a connection or anything, you're just looking for a casual relationship based off what's in between my legs.
It should be.
Do you think that the LGBT community need to start representing non-white people more?
Well, we're at the forefront of it, like all the culture's based around people of colour, to be fair, and no one wants to seem to recognise that, so I don't know. It's going to be hard for us to get the representation that we need based off, like last year there was adding the brown colours to the pride flag, and then everyone gotten an uproar about that because I thought it was being added to the main pride flag, but if you actually did your research, it was just that one city in Chicago that had it. So, and just seeing the backlash and uproar from that makes me a bit weary about the conversation that needs to be had about people of colour having more representation in the community.
Do you think it can have a long-lasting effect on the LGBT Black and Asian people, having these racism remarks, not having this representation in the community?
Well, of course, take away like the LGBT aspect of it for a second, like being a person of colour and experience racism, that's going to have a lasting effect on you as well. So to come to like the LGBT community to think somewhere where you'd feel more accepted and then you're not accepted, of course that's going to have an effect on you, do you know what I mean?
What would you say to other young LGBT Black and Asian people who are finding it hard to come out and wanting to be accepted into that local LGBT community?
Oh, I don't know about that one. That one's hard because everyone's circumstances is different, but like being part of the LGBT community, there's nothing wrong with it, it's not unnatural, but I'd say come out when you're ready or when it's safe to come out, and then don't let no one dishearten you about being in this community, or don't let other people's comments about your physical appearance or skin tone put you off.